Fox 8 News is New Orleans' most watched late news. Fox 8 Local First starts now.
We saw it coming. It came from that way and came right forward. All we could do was hide under the desk and hold on to each other.
Rare and powerful twisters.
That's when everything just hit. And I mean, it's just like a bomb hit, and we just stood down. We had debris all over us. Oh, my God.
Shake southeast Louisiana to its core.
I heard a lot of wind blowing. I heard the windows pane knocking out. And I told my wife, get down, get out the way.
From New Orleans east to Jefferson and the North Shore.
Today we had a tough day across our state. In at least 6 different parishes, there were 7 confirmed tornadoes that touched down.
Homes, businesses, schools, and even 18-wheelers fail the test of this unexpected force of Mother Nature.
I mean, this is just total devastation, and some people just not equipped to go through this again. It's hard.
I keep trying to tell myself it's just a house, and we'll rebuild, and we will.
Communities once again forced to regroup and start over again. Good evening, I'm Kim Holden.
And I'm Lee Zurich. The threat of severe weather is gone tonight, but the cleanup is just getting started. City and state leaders promise help as people salvage what's left and start rebuilding once again.
Chief Meteorologist David Bernard will have what was behind today's outbreaks and your forecast for the rest of the week in just a few minutes. But first, a woman shares her story of survival as she clung to her newborn.
Yeah, the tornado in New Orleans East ripped the trailer she was in to pieces.
She flew way to piss in the backyard, and I ended up by that black car right there.
Wow, Amanda Stockfeld says the only thing on her mind was protecting her 8-week-old baby girl. Rob Krieger has the story.
It was a normal day for Amanda Stockfeld, who works at this impound lot, now damaged and destroyed. Normal outside of the fact that because of a doctor's appointment, she had her 2-month-old daughter with her at work. And then in an instant, their lives were turned upside down.
I heard the sound of a freight train, and I was holding her. All I could think of was putting her back in her car seat. So I put her in her car seat, I buckled her up, I put her underneath my work desk. I crawled underneath there with her. I locked my arm around the handle of her car seat.
Within moments, as Stockfeld huddled under her desk with her daughter and another coworker, her worst fear unfolded with unyielding fury.
We heard the trailer coming apart, and then we flipped over backwards. And then it's like the trailer exploded, and me and the baby went flying through the air. And I saw the sky, the inside of the vortex. I saw her in her car seat above my head, and then we hit the ground.
As the young mother flew through the air, she gripped tightly to her newborn as Mother Nature devoured steel and tore through buildings, tossing her relentlessly. She had one thing on her mind.
Don't let go. Just don't let go. That's all I could think about was don't let go. I couldn't think of anything else because I knew if I let go, I wouldn't have been able to find her. And I just thought, I didn't know if she was dead. I didn't know if she was hurt. I didn't care about me. I didn't even feel my injuries until hours later. I was just worried about her, that's it.
Moments after the tornado passed, Stockfeld was captured on this Facebook Live, still in shock.
And I ended up by that black car right there. Her car seat's still right there. I had her buckled into her car seat.
And I have to say, shout out to Graco. Graco makes the best car seats in the world because without her being in that car seat, I don't know what would have happened to her.
Now, as she takes stock of the place where she works, nearly annihilated, she can breathe easy knowing her little Autumn still has her smile, something she'll never let go.
It's just inconceivable. I couldn't imagine. I mean, I'm thinking my job's gone. You know, the only car we had is gone. But she was okay. I was okay. Everything else can be replaced.
So tonight, Stockfeld and little Autumn are at home, safe and relaxing. Their only problem now, how to replace this Jeep. Their only mode of transportation completely destroyed in the tornado. Reporting in New Orleans East, Rob Krieger, Fox 8 News.
Well, some people at NASA's Michoud assembly facility grabbed cameras when they started to see rotation outside their windows. NASA says the tornado hit around 11:25 this morning. An employee sent us pictures of the damage. It looks like a storm ripped a hole in one wall, but NASA says it doesn't appear that any of the deep space equipment that's being built there was damaged. NASA says 5 employees reported minor injuries, and that facility will be closed tomorrow.
Employees at a film studio near the Michoud facility were dangerously close to the tornado. David Collette tweeted this video from the 13,000 block of Old Gentilly Road in New Orleans East. You can see powerful winds rip apart away part of the roof of a building. The person shooting eventually ducks for cover as the winds get stronger. Businesses and homes along Chef Mentor Highway suffered extensive damage from the powerful tornado. Because of that, St. Mary's Academy on Chef announced it will be closed tomorrow.
Ryan Nakan joins us live from New Orleans East with more.
Chef Mentor Highway is still shut down from Dowman Road all the way to Michoud Boulevard. And just looking at the damage left behind by this storm, this snapped power pole that's right here, you can tell how powerful this storm was and how fortunate a lot of people are tonight. Satellite dishes discarded in power lines, roofs peeled off of houses and businesses, and cars badly damaged, some buried under piles of debris and down trees.
Awning fell on the window, and then the next thing I know, the tree fell on my car.
There's a car underneath this tree.
My car is underneath the tree. Right.
How did you get out?
People along the block came and helped me get out.
The tornado's powerful winds snapped power lines and bent metal utility poles throughout New Orleans East. Residents rushed for cover and found debris torn from businesses traveled nearly a quarter of a mile before crashing down in their backyard.
And the shoe store sign is over there in my yard.
What was it like being in that bathtub with your wife as it's coming through?
Well, it's just like being in a bathtub with my wife. Just got to hold on. You know, all I can say is I thank God that we just passed it over. You know, it just went on over us. We lost a few houses in the neighborhood, but still in all, we was blessed.
And blessed is something Abe Henry feels as well.
The roof flew, and all the grocery and all the liquor and all the boxes came tumbling down. I did my best to run and just cover myself.
The tornado ripped the roof off a convenience store Henry works at on Chef Mentor Highway. He could feel the tornado try to take him with it.
I had to grab onto the table, the legs of the table metal, you know, try to keep myself on the ground as it was too windy and everything was just pushing me against the wall and everything.
Police! Emergency crews went door to door to assess the damage, leaving the mark on doors many who lived through Hurricane Katrina know all too well.
Coming to see this again, it kind of reminded me of Katrina, and I was a teenager then.
And as city and state leaders push as many people out of the area still without power, they're placing more law enforcement officials inside. What was it like being in that tornado as it came through?
It wasn't fun at all, my first. And I hope not to be in another.
Majority of the cleanup effort has not begun tonight because most of this area is without power. We have seen a huge presence of police, state police, NOPD, and even some Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's deputies here, as well as the National Guard, who have 150 guardsmen here to patrol the area and help with the cleanup. That is the very latest in New Orleans East. Ryan Nakan, Fox 8 News.
All right, Ryan, thanks. More viewer video shows the tornado tear through New Orleans East, tossing cars around, even an 18-wheeler. Kenneth Hurst posted this video on Instagram. You can see the wedge of the tornado takes up almost the whole screen. Now, Hurst appears to be driving next to the tornado as it sends debris flying in all different directions. A very dangerous situation out there.
Wow. Governor Edwards warns people not to go snooping around the damage tonight.
State police presence here tonight will be robust. I can tell you that the fire marshal's office will supplement the fire department here in New Orleans, and you will also have a significant presence of National Guardsmen here tonight to secure this scene, to make sure that the shelter is secure, the key intersections are secure, and I would just ask the people to cooperate with what the mayor said earlier. This is not a time to sightsee in this area. We just toured it. It is very dangerous with power lines down, telephone poles and light poles in the road. There's sharp metal all over the place, and we need to keep the roads free so that people can get in here and start to work to get this neighborhood back the way it needs to be.
The National Guard says 150 guardsmen and women will help across the state. Edwards also got an aerial tour of the damage as he flew in today. He also declared a state of emergency for the entire state. Mayor Landrieu says, unfortunately, New Orleans knows how to deal with disaster.
We have our unfair share of experiences that we've had to learn how to respond to. People always ask how they can help. If you stay out of their way and let them do their job in the next 24 or 48 hours, it's going to make a lot of people's lives a lot easier.
Service says at least 7 parishes were hit by tornadoes today. At least 20 people were injured. 5 or 6 of those were reportedly serious. No one was killed. The tornado in New Orleans East left a 2-mile path of damage. Entergy crews were out tonight working to restore power to thousands of customers. Right now, Entergy says about 10,000 customers are still in the dark tonight.
The New Orleans Sewerage and Water Board says the city's drinking water is safe tonight. The power outage did not impact the water plant on Carrollton, which supplies the city's tap water. However, today's weather knocked out power to 17 sewer pump stations. Tonight, the Sewerage and Water Board tells us 4 of those are back online, and crews are working to fix the other ones right now. The outages could result in sewer overflows in homes and businesses. The damage across New Orleans East is extensive.
Yeah, in one neighborhood, people spent the entire day trying to salvage what little they have left after the tornado destroyed their homes. Natasha Robin has the latest from New Orleans East.
A very tough day and a very tough night for so many people in New Orleans East. Right now, we are on Charles Mark Drive. That's between Chef and Lake Forest Boulevard. In this neighborhood, so many homes were lost, damaged by the tornado. If you can just look around and see the extent of damage, this is someone's front lawn. Look at all of the debris, parts of the house from the inside. Now outside on the front lawn, 2x4s have penetrated homes in so many areas, windows blown out, just extensive damage, house after house. And these folks here are very upset about obviously what happened, and they're trying to salvage what they can. And of course, the sun went down. A lot of folks in this area worried about looting tonight. They also have to find a place to stay, but there's a lot of worry about the future and how they will recover.
It's heartbreaking to come home from work, then you couldn't even get in the neighborhood, but to see this, it's like Katrina all over again minus the water. I mean, it's just devastating. It's heartbreaking. We had to rebuild once before, now we have to rebuild our lives again. I mean, you pretty much lost everything once, and now we lost again. So it's very disheartening, it's very hurtful. It's just, how do you prepare for that? Where do you start?
A tough day for so many families out here in New Orleans East, and the cleanup and the recovery is just beginning. In New Orleans East, Natasha Robin, Fox 8 News.
The city opened a temporary shelter for storm victims who need a place to stay tonight. RTA shuttles stopped to get passengers at the intersections of Dwyer and Wilson, also Dwyer and Crowder, and took them to the shelter at the Joe Brown Park Recreation Center. The New Orleans Health Department, the Red Cross, Catholic Charities, and the New Orleans Fire Department say they will help provide assistance. The Louisiana SPCA offers assistance to pet owners affected by the severe weather. CEO Anna Zarilla says they're ready to help if a family doesn't have a roof over its head tonight and needs shelter for pets. The SPCA's humane enforcement officers are also available to help any pets or other animals that might have been injured by the storm. Students and staff at Schaumburg Elementary School had to take shelter.
Yeah, Kimberly Kurth has their story from New Orleans East.
Neighbors are trying to make sense of what happened here today, and when you look around, it is hard to believe your eyes. This happened within a matter of minutes. And when you look down Mark Drive in New Orleans East tonight, you will see home after home badly damaged, if not destroyed, cars tossed around like they're a piece of paper. And when you see just how extensive this devastation is, consider this. Schaumburg Elementary School is just down the block. The good news is that we are told all the students and staff are safe tonight.
I feel worse for the people here, you know, the people who are in walking distance of this neighborhood, the devastation that hit them. I saw a plank hit somebody's windshield. I saw a mail truck completely turned over. Cars are destroyed. Houses have no roofs. You know, I'm fine. My children are fine. My family's fine compared to them. I feel sorry for this neighborhood.
School officials tell us that students and teachers took shelter in the hallway, and that is a good thing because a classroom as well as a cafeteria was badly damaged. But we can tell you that all those students and that staff at Schaumburg Elementary School are all accounted for tonight, and they are all safe. For now, reporting from New Orleans East, Kimberly Kurth, Fox 8 News.
One woman was in her home in New Orleans East when the storm hit, and she says it seemed like a bomb hit.
The lights went out, and all of a sudden I just heard something rumbling, and then the next thing you know, it started wheezing like a freight train was coming through. And the next thing you know, we got on the ground, and all of a sudden, by the time we got on the ground, that's when everything just hit. And I mean, it's just like a bomb hit, and we just stood down. We had debris all over us. Oh my God.
Debris blocked Bundy Road and several other streets. Neighbors told us they had to park blocks away and walk to their damaged homes.
In Jefferson Parish, workers around Elmwood and Harahan noticed a funnel cloud kicking debris this morning.
Look at that. It's debris. I see it. Oh, I see it. Oh, look. Whoa.
The storm caused transformers to blow and snapped power lines.
Today's terrifying weather took some people by surprise in Old Jefferson.
And it came from that way, and it blew and landed on top of my truck. And I just ducked down and kind of, you know, covered up like that. And it just went away, you know. It busted my front glass. It tore my campers off the back of my truck. It damaged the front of the truck.
Clarence Martin was at a fast food restaurant on Jefferson Highway near Causeway. He was not hurt. A little to the west, the storm's winds snapped a utility pole and knocked out power. Another tornado was captured on video as it roared in from Lake Pontchartrain toward Madisonville. That caused extensive damage to 3 homes on Gust Island. One of the homes was knocked off its piers, another had a brick wall blown off, and yet another suffered roof damage. Fire officials say it would have been much worse if the tornado had struck 4 miles east and actually hit Madisonville.
It have caused a lot of damage. You know, you're in a wide open area right here, so, you know, the winds, you know, have really nothing to stop them. But in town, you know, you have a lot of older houses and they have tin roofs, and you would have had plenty of projectiles flying through town, which could have been really, really bad.
The whole house shook, trembled. We don't know inside about structural damage or that kind of stuff like that. We got to investigate that to find out.
No one was hurt as a result of that tornado.
We have much more about today's severe weather online. St. Mary's Academy in New Orleans East is closed tomorrow. Find any other school closures along with slideshows, survivor stories, and more on the response efforts on fox8live.com and our free news app.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast from David Bernard.
Well, the big story tonight, at least, is how much fog are we going to have? And we have very heavy sea fog that has developed. Look, Port Fourchon, 0 visibility, half-mile of Boothville. It's dropping on the Gulf Coast. It looks like it's starting to spread inland, and it may be developing over the lake as well. If we look at our fog potential tomorrow morning, I think this is going to be right. It's going to be heavy in some spots, especially near the water, and patchy in others. Shelby will have the latest beginning at 4:30 a.m. It could affect your commute. Right now, we have a dense fog advisory in effect for the Lake Pontchartrain, and for the Gulf of Mexico. There is a land fog advisory for Morgan City West, but not for our area yet. If the sea fog spreads inland further or the lake fog really expands, then we'll see those advisories extended overnight. So at least look for some patchy fog tomorrow morning, and then a really warm day, 74, but no storms. The severe weather threat is over, and most tomorrow, all we're going to see is a sprinkle. Outside tonight, it is muggy, sultry. I mean, this is February. Amazing. Upper 60s and low 70s right now. Very high humidity. That dew point number is in the territory where we oftentimes expect fog. Northern St. Tammany Parish today. Look at the hail that fell in northern St. Tammany. It was very heavy. And you know what? you knew that was coming. And how did you know that? Because of the Viper hail track. And we were able to track this hailstorm beginning well west into Tangipahoa Parish. And this shows us where the heaviest hail is falling. And that picture came in from just south of Sun and Bush, right in this area here. So again, the Viper hail track did verify this time. Now, look at these pictures from New Orleans East. From our Fox 8 Facebook page. Again, just a couple of examples of the damage that was done today. Again, look at this storm. It just crushed the back half of the car. Once again, on Viper, that allowed us to prove that, yeah, it was able to do the trick and point out where that storm is. Warm breeze and a stray shower tomorrow with a cold front to the north and west. That's going to come through tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to have cooler breeze and bright sun, great weather. On Friday, you bet, it looks like it's going to be another beautiful day, chilly start, and some comfy sun. Very muggy tonight, patchy fog, dense in spots, lows in the 60s. Could be near a record high tomorrow of 80. Sun and clouds and just a stray shower. Otherwise, it's going to be warm and breezy. And rain chances the rest of the week, 20% on Wednesday, and then it's going to be dry. And then 30% shower chances Monday and Tuesday, but those chances basically look pretty low. So some really nice weather coming up Thursday and Friday. The weekend doesn't look bad. Maybe a little bit warmer, certainly no cold blast on the way. But after today, just saying that we're not expecting severe weather and quiet weather, that's what we all need to help everybody recover. So I'm just glad the day is out and yes, we got through this. We have injuries. We do not have a fatality.
That is amazing.
It is amazing.
Right.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks,
David.
David.
Because of the severe weather today, part 2 of our special investigative series, Hooked Up, will not air tonight. Tomorrow night, we have more on the millions of dollars a small group of fishermen make fishing in the Gulf.
Mr. Sutherland's back doing what he's best at.
Not being a congressman?
Burying people.
Tomorrow night at 10, the power of these fishermen making millions off a public resource and how they use that power to keep making the money. Watch part 2 of Hooked Up tomorrow night on Fox 8 News at 10. It wasn't just the metro area that was impacted by today's storms.
A look at the damage in the rest of the state coming up. A tornado touched down in Ascension Parish today, destroying homes in Donaldsonville.
Yeah, walls and rooftops crumbled. Some homes were even ripped off their piers. One survivor says he took cover just in time as parts of his home came crashing down on top of him.
The ceilings just started coming down on top of me, and the door shut on me. And so I know it was the Lord. I know it was Jesus, kept me in the room. Because if I would have went out there, I probably would be here right now. So I thank Jesus for my life.
Local leaders toured the damage this afternoon.
Tornadoes. This storm system at times was dumping hail on the area. This is video from Alligator Bayou in Prairieville. Viewer Carney Raven shared the video with our sister station in Baton Rouge, WAFB. We have new information tonight as Tangipahoa Parish authorities arrest a dozen people in connection with the death of a man in the parish jail. 11 people are booked with second-degree murder and obstruction of justice. An additional juvenile is charged as a principal to second-degree murder. They're accused of an unprovoked attack on 40-year-old Tommy Joe Smith January 30th. Investigators say Smith had just been booked into the jail on a parole violation. The inmates thwarted his attempts to find a bunk. Then they say he was attacked in what other inmates described as a shark-feeding frenzy as he tried to leave to ask a deputy to move him to another area. A Louisiana family is dealing with an unimaginable tragedy.
My son got sick very quickly, and I'm a nurse, and I could not figure out what it was and had no idea that it would end up leading to his death.
They're grieving the loss of their teenage son, and for months they didn't know what killed him. We wanted to bring you their story tonight, but we're unable to because of the severe weather. So look for Kimberly Kurth's special report, Deadly Symptoms, at a later date on Fox 8 News. Well, the football coaching carousel saw several new faces in familiar places,
including a spot for New Orleanian Jabbar Jalouk. Juan Kincaid recaps a busy day next in sports.
Fox 8 Sports is brought to you by AutoSmart. Be smart, buy smart.
Good coaches don't remain unhappy for long, right? Jabbar Juluke, role reduced at LSU after National Signing Day, is a happier man tonight. He's moved on to Texas Tech, hired as their associate head coach and running backs coach. Before he was hired by the Tigers, Juluke spent 3 weeks on Tech staff as their running backs coach back then. A year ago, LSU also hired a couple of coaches, Shaw alum Mickey Joseph as its wide receivers coach, and Tommy Robinson comes aboard with multiple titles, assistant head coach, running backs coach, and recruiting coordinator. And the Falcons have lured Steve Sarkisian away from Alabama to become the Dirty Birds' new offensive coordinator. How about some college hoops from this evening in the SEC? LSU at 15th ranked Kentucky. LSU trying to hang in this game. On the break, Skylar Mays feeds Antonio Blakeney. Huge game for him as he throws it down. He had 31 points, but the Tigers still down by 14. Got it close to 10, but not much closer after that. Too much Kentucky. Malik Monk from distance. Wildcats run away and hide late, 92-85. And over in Old Metairie this evening, Country Day, Riverside, always a fun game to go to and watch. Country Day's Garland Robertson open from the wing, knocks down the three, put the Rebs up early. Caleb Jenkins responds for Country Day, cut to the basket, gets it up and gets it down. The game is tied up at that point, and the Cajuns take the lead, courtesy of Justin Ibieta for three. Country Day, they get the win big on the roads, actually at home, 72-50 is your final score. Good game uptown in Mid-City.
All right, thanks a lot, Juan.
That is the news. Thanks for watching. We've got much more in the aftermath of today's severe weather on fox8live.com and our free news app.
Yeah, and of course, look for updates on Fox 8 Morning Edition, which starts at 4:30 tomorrow morning. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
With the Fox 8 Final Play app, you're never without Fox 8 Sports. Download the app now for push alerts and the latest black and gold breaking news and highlights. Sponsored by Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude. Fox 8 is proudly locally owned.